Throughout many epic narratives in gaming, there has been a fine line between the polarities, happiness and sadness. Protagonists are often pitted against incredible odds and are destined to overcome and triumph. However, the path to a hero's destiny is constantly riddled with hindrances that often invoke terrifying and horrific experiences in an effort to push the protagonist and the player forward. These tragedies are etched into our hearts and mind, and no tragedy may be greater than the tale of Hyrule's ever incarnate savior, Link. This is the tragedy of Link. Link is a courageous young man whose heroic spirit is eternally bound to the great land of Hyrule. His destiny as the chosen hero has transcended generations and even parallel timelines. Though he is always destined to bring the light and return peace to Hyrule and the world by stopping evil forces that threaten the land, it is each incarnation's initial steps towards this path that makes Link's story so tragic. In most of the Zelda installments, Link is forced to face horrific and traumatizing experiences in order to temper his spirit and realize his destiny. This destiny places him on the path to hero, and these experiences are dictated by none other than the gods. In Skyward Sword, it is revealed that the goddess Hylia used Link in an attempt to destroy Demise, the Demon King who sought the Triforce to establish dominion over the world. Knowing that Link would throw himself into danger at a moment's notice for Zelda, Hylia used this dimension in order to set Link on a journey of trials that would temper his spirit and will make him worthy of using the Triforce in order to destroy Demise. Though Link is victorious in using his own power against Demise in the past, this will lead to something much greater and much more disastrous. In his final breath, Demise invokes a curse that would bound his hatred eternally to the spirit of the hero and the blood of the goddess, creating a never-ending cycle of conflicts that will always and forever include Link. This is the beginning of the tragedy. Though many will argue that Demise is the true cruel mastermind behind the constant attacks on Hyrule, and the reason why many incarnations of Link must awaken the hero within, who is crueler than the gods for using Link in the very beginning that eventually led him and his descendants to this tragic fate filled with tears and blood? Throughout each of his adventures, Link has faced circumstances that pushed him towards his so-called path to hero that would otherwise have scarred any other mentally. Though Link's courage and spirit is truly legendary and only gets stronger with each incarnation, no one has really asked Link if this is what he wanted. Most of his adventures, Link starts off as a regular boy and must leave his old life behind in order to protect Hyrule. Link has lost loved ones, watched helplessly as friends and family are taken away from him, experienced painful transformations that bring his being into question. Link has even lost 7 years of his life in an instant, and is forced to mature mentally as he has done physically. This is all added to the tragedy, and there is even a possibility that Link loses his life fighting for something that he may have never wanted to fight for. Dictated by a higher power, Link's mentality has always proven that he is willing to go through such monstrous trials physically and mentally, which truly exemplifies his unbreakable will and courage. But the seeds have been sown for each Link, showing that they do not have a choice in the matter, and that they never did and may never will. When one thinks about the adventure as a whole, many will say it must be done. But take the cruelty in its infancy, and no one would want Link to go through anything of the sort. But the hero must be made one way or another. To many, it may seem that Link is in full control of his destiny, that being the savior of Hyrule was what he was born to do. However, each incarnation has always had fate knocking at his door, bringing a cruel and unwanted gift that will force Link to chase after what he most desires. This chase leads to a path, and that path evolves into a destiny, a destiny that tells him that he is the only one that can bring righteousness back to the land in turmoil. But these destinies always bring up an age-old question. Does the ends truly justify the means? None of us truly have the right to answer that. Link's ever-constant tragedies have been recorded into history, but that particular history itself has become a legend. The Legend of Zelda. Tragedy may sometimes feel temporary, but memories keep it eternal. The next story will be told.